この場で確実に殺しておかねばならん。貴様は危険な存在だ。使わねばならんとは、なんとも情け。消しとれ、希望。
何今の。
なぜだ。どういうことだ。
もうダメじゃないでしょ。
今日よな。
Welcome to Peach Boy Riverside. Get ready to delve into a journey filled with beautiful monster women and epic fight scenes. In episode 1, we are introduced to a perplexing scenario as a mysterious girl encounters a half-human lying unconscious on the ground. Suddenly, the half-human stomach growls, causing the girl to realize that she must give it something to eat. Not sure what to offer, she settles on a carrot since the demi-human looks like a rabbit. As the conversation between the girl and the half-human progresses, the girl suddenly reveals her name, Saltharine, which she prefers to be called Sally. As Sally continues to speak, she reveals that she has a princess order for the half-human. However, she quickly clarifies that she is no longer a princess. Sally then proceeds to ask the half-human if she can communicate in the human language. The girl replies that she can try, and upon further inquiry, reveals her name to be Frau. Intrigued by Frau's appearance, Sally asks her if she is a monster or something. Frau responds confidently, stating that she is not a monster, but rather a hare folk. Sally, curious about what a hare folk is, realizes that it must be a demi-human. As the conversation continues, Sally recalls hearing stories of non-human creatures living in the forest. As Sally walks down the path, she can't help but notice Frau trailing behind her. She wonders if the demi-human has nowhere else to go, or if there's something else driving her curious behavior. Suddenly, Frau makes her intentions clear. She's decided to join Sally on her adventures until she's repaid her debt for the carrot. Sally isn't entirely thrilled with the idea of traveling with a demi-human, but decides to make the best of the situation. As they journey on, Sally expresses her concerns about the challenges they may face while traveling together. She warns Frau that they could easily get separated in the upcoming village, as humans may not be comfortable with demi-humans. Later, they decide to make their way into the city. They move quickly and quietly, their hearts pounding with excitement and anticipation. As they make their way towards the inn, they run into another man who seems curious about their presence. "I've never seen you two around here before. Are you travelers?" he asks, his eyes studying them carefully. The two women exchange a look, surprised that they're being asked the same question again. They wonder if this is a common occurrence in this village. To their surprise, the gentleman responds kindly, inviting them to his mansion for a delicious dinner. The trio eagerly accepts, enjoying a lavish meal in the luxurious estate as the gentleman reveals himself as the local lord, offering them the best hospitality. The next day, Frau's bravery is put to the test as she confronts a menacing monster determined to devour the innocent villagers. With her impressive strength and cunning tactics, she emerges victorious. However, to her dismay, the humans she saved are not grateful and instead ask her to leave their town. As the episode comes to a close, Sally unleashes her newfound powers to show off her skills in front of a cocky monster. At the beginning of episode 2, we are transported to a tranquil setting where a mysterious girl with purple hair is enjoying the shade of a tree. She ponders aloud about a certain set and whether he's having the time of his life. Suddenly, she hears a voice and realizes that she is not alone. However, her powers fail to detect the presence of the person behind her. Undeterred, she decides to play with the human and pass time. With a piercing red-eyed gaze, she reveals that her companion has left her and life has become dull. As the guy swings his sword with ease, he splits the tree in half, leaving the girl awestruck. Suddenly, he speaks up, revealing that he's on the hunt for a worthy adversary to play with. The girl, taken aback by his raw power, wonders who this mysterious stranger could be. Without hesitation, the guy proposes a challenge. They'll wait just 5 minutes for the girl to fully regenerate before testing each other's strength. As the clock ticks down, the tension between them grows, and they engage in small talk to pass the time. Meanwhile, Sally faces off against a monstrous sea lion, using her magical powers to slice off one of its powerful arms. The sea lion commends Sally for her impressive fighting skills and expresses excitement at the prospect of taking on two powerful opponents at once. Meanwhile, Frau lies unconscious near the wall, and Sally valiantly stands guard to protect her. As the sea lion attempts to strike Sally with a hammer fist, she expertly blocks the attack with the tip of her finger. The sea lion is taken aback, realizing that this human is unlike any other he has encountered. He pulls back his fist, perplexed by the incredible power possessed by a non-demi-human. Meanwhile, in the forest, the strange guy and girl continue their conversation, passing the time as they wait for 5 minutes. As the girl approaches, she inquires if he is the legendary monster slayer making waves throughout the town. Eager to share his travels, the traveler confirms he's been journeying far and wide, slaying ogres and monsters along the way. The girl expresses her admiration for his prowess, mentioning that her own powers have recently been restored. As she rises to her feet, she reflects on her love for nature and the cattle that roam her land. Unbeknownst to the boy, the girl has grown into a teenager since their first encounter, standing tall and confident in her revenge against those who stole her precious land. As the boy comes to the sudden realization that humans and monsters are at odds due to their mutual animosity, they both lock eyes and prepare for battle. Just as tension mounts between them, the girl interrupts, informing them that 5 minutes have elapsed. Suddenly, she declares that the boy is too dangerous to be left alive and must be eliminated immediately. Unfazed, the boy challenges her to give it her best shot. Who will win this battle? Before we find out, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who has the most overpowered ability in anime? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. As the boy slices through the girl, she suddenly disappears into thin air and reappears behind him unscathed. Astonished by her mythical abilities, the girl reveals that she has harnessed the power of Zhendao, a technique that merges one's inner energy with the natural world. The boy is taken aback, impressed that a mere high ogre could master such a complex skill. The boy states his objective as slaying the ogres and expresses his belief that he will be happy once he achieves it. The girl senses the overwhelming hostility in the air and dispatches one of her eyeballs to fetch reinforcements. Concerned about the girl's survival, the boy questions whether she'll make it until backup arrives. She reassures him that her Zhendao will provide ample protection. Growing restless, the boy swiftly eliminates all the eyeballs using his ki. Meanwhile, the sea lion is enraged, who is struggling to defeat a Sally, a woman rather than a man. The sealess Set grumbles that he was forced to fire his cannon by Sally, but suddenly he is taken aback when he sees Sally emerge, yawning from the blast. He can't fathom how she survived the powerful blow. Sally brushes it off, commenting casually that she just heard a boom. As Frau wakes up, Set can't help but wonder why Sally isn't even scratched. The boy had defeated the girl, but decided against killing her and instead went on a mission to find Sally. With just one swift slash, Sally had beaten Set in a duel. Later on, Sally and Frau come across the girl who had fought with the swordsman they were searching for. They realize that the purple-haired girl's name is Carrot, but they are unaware of her involvement with the boy. In an effort to help her, they all escape together. At the start of episode 3, we cut to a fallen man on the ground as the referee declares the match over. It seems that Hawthorne Grather has just defeated a knight in a fierce competition. Frau, Sally, and Carrot offer their congratulations to Hawthorne on his first victory, and he modestly reminds them of his impressive feats during the battle. As night falls, an ogre knight apologizes to the boss for failing to capture Hatsuki. Nevertheless, the boss reassures him that it's not a cause for concern since Hatsuki is a formidable opponent. As we move on to another scene, we find ourselves witnessing the god of mask, Joseline, being carried by an ogre knight towards a summoning circle. With excitement in her voice, Joseline compliments the color yellow for its crucial role in keeping the magic circle alive. Suddenly, the boss, Sumeragi, steps forward and reveals their plan to gather 100 ogres. As we continue to watch, the ogres keep pouring out of the magical ring, and Sumeragi takes charge by giving orders to the army of ogres. He declares the commencement of the 672nd 100 Ogre Gathering. With a sweep of his hand, he presents a map of the continent, highlighting the areas of influence for the ogres. To their surprise, the color red that signifies their dominance is rapidly dwindling, taken over by none other than humankind. The ogres question if the work of Peach Boy is responsible for their losses. Confirming his suspicions, the boss delves into the details of the upcoming 100 Ogre Gathering. The curious ogre turns to Sumeragi, the boss, for more information about Peach Boy. It is then that Sumeragi's men realize the shocking truth. Mikoto is the legendary Peach Boy. Sumeragi's revelation shocks the ogres, as they had underestimated the strength of a lone human. Despite their initial disbelief, they are forced to acknowledge Peach Boy's incredible power after learning he single-handedly defeated their entire army and even killed their leader, Moki. The following day, Sumeragi has a meeting with Sally and Mikoto. Sumeragi invites Sally to join him, but this suggestion does not sit well with Mikoto, who becomes visibly angry. Sally is presented with a choice. Who will she choose? Find out on our next recap of Peach Boy Riverside.